Okay, it seems the stream has started and we continue to work on our library. Last time we succeeded in implementation of test loading. We did a loading of a particular test by just evaluating it. We added a special flag that allows to only load tests without executing them. So you can like load a few tests that you are interested in and re-execute them multiple times with special function. And also we made API for loading tests for the current model and tests for the whole project. So now we have loaded tests and we need to execute them. We have an old mechanism which is tightly integrated with test suites hierarchy, and when you execute a test suite, it builds the hierarchy, special data structure that you can traverse, and the execution of the tests usually done by traversing this data structure and executing tests in the leaf nodes of this data structure. What we will do now, like it turned out that it is okay approach, but it's not very flexible because you have like hierarchical data structure which is hard to actually manipulate. What we will do instead, we will get a list of loaded tests. We already have it because we like implemented it previously. We will apply a transformation to it, and we will get a list of scheduled tests. And what transformation we can theoretically apply to the list of loaded tests? First of all, we can do, for example, sorting. Just a function which sorts tests in some particular order. What this order can be? For example, we can sort and tests by name or by model or by speed, whatever. Also, while it's possible to do all the things I mentioned, more interesting sorting functionality will be related to the previous execution. For example, we can sort by execution time and run quicker tests first and slower tests later. So we can get the failure earlier if failure happens, and also we can run previously failed tests first. So this will allow to get the failure as quick as possible. So we will be executing the quickest tests first and the failing tests first. And this is already quite interesting. And if we specify a special flag that when we get a failure or error, we just stop the execution of the tests and bring in the debugger or whatever, and like processing this failure. It will really shorten the feedback loop. Okay, and another transformation. Imagine we have like a few tests. We apply a transformation and get like less tests. For example, we can use a transformation function which selects only previously failed tests. So we have like information about previous execution. We have all loaded tests, and the transform function will take like the list of the information about previous execution, will extract all the failed tests, and will filter all loaded tests, and we will get much smaller subset to run. So after the application of transformation function, we will get a list of tests scheduled for the execution. So good so far. What we will do with them? We will just run them. Seems quite logical. And it will produce us a list of execution results. The execution result, I've not decided yet what execution result will contain. By the way, I'm curious where is my face is, because right now I want to select and show you this thing. By the way, did you mention that I have a tablet connected to my laptop, so I can like explain visually what I'm planning to do. So the execution result, it will basically contain the status, the time spent for execution, and maybe assertions, like the results of the assertion, if they passed, failed, or produced an error. We can store some additional information, but for now it should be like quite good. And after we get a list of execution results, we can somehow utilize it, for example, to build a unit XML report. So we can group the execution result by bits and build the hierarchy, and out of this hierarchy we will build a unit XML report. Also, we can use those results in the transformation function here on the next execution. So it should provide us enough flexibility to implement a very rapid feedback loop for test reruns. And it's also quite flexible because our transformation function basically take a list and produce a list. And it can be as simple as just sorting, or it can be more complicated and use metadata of tests to sort out tests by their type or whatever we want to do. Okay, let's implement something. I have this model which called runners. If you remember, I split our library in a few files. It's core, discovery, reports, and runners. Core contains the API for test definition. Discovery contains API for like searching tests in the models and like in the load passes. Reporters, like quite clear, they allow to do some stuff like this one and print it somewhere or store the information about test execution and test events. And the runners, the stuff that actually runs the tests, handles exceptions, and calls reporters and all that stuff. And Arei's the model with helper functions, which allows to integrate test runner with Arei, Arei's Guile ID. Okay, we are interested in our default test runner, and we will be improving it. I already started to update the implementation, but faced some issues, and I will try it again right now. So I drafted a plan of what we try to achieve, and we will focus right now on this part. We need to go from loaded tests to scheduled tests. We don't even need to implement any way to apply transformation function. We just use identity as a transformation function. It was ID like this. We can use identity function as transformation function, and we will get just a list of loaded tests. So, but we still implement this step for further extension. So we will be able to specify transform function later. Okay. Let's do this. We have load test, we have run test, and run test. Instead of get loaded tests, should take get scheduled tests. Scheduled test like this. But we get scheduled. We will do it just after I check that our tests still work. How we check it? I started to updating stuff here. Run probably test suite. Something like this to make it work. See, test suite. Test suite. Oh, interesting. I'm missing some of a suite. Oh, right. It should be suite. Okay, now it's procedure. And get a run summary. Okay, let's by the way, what we can do, we can define this one, and it will be test suite sunk. And base this, and we will return what we had before. What we changed? We didn't change much, but we still get this exception. And why this exception happens? Let's see. This exception happens because we don't get a number of tests. That's probably because we don't get summary. Yeah, as a summary we get false. So our function get run summary. Summary. Oh, we are in the wrong place. Runners. Summary. Atomic box ref. Last run summary. Atomic box. Summary. Run schedule tests. Box ref. Atomic box set. Okay, let's start from simple example. We have a comment, and inside comment we have test by use models. Okay, we can move it. Executed. Good. We have test runner. right? Runner procedure that we can call this argument type get array. Okay, seems to work. What if we have a switch? And now it still works. Now we have our what's called base test runner test, right? And it works again. So what was the issue? Did I forget to reload something or what? Count variable test runner orders. Okay, it returned unspecified, and but this one returns the correct value, so it should be fine. Run test suites, test runner, run suites, test runner. This. To make sure, I will just start the REPL and load project tests and run them. Okay, they runs. Now let's go here and try to run this one. Boom. We get false. Not sure why. Hello Arnie, I'm very quiet. Okay. Let me try to do something about it. I think should be pam pam, param pam pam. Yeah, for some reason it seems to be quite quiet. Param pam pam, param pam pam. Param, param pam pam. Param pam pam. Okay, let's see. Param, param pam pam. I think this one is already okay. Okay, let's see. At least I can hear myself quite clearly. Actually, with the original gain, I usually could reach the yellow zone here, like with the original gain here. But after I switched to, like, after I updated my system like a few days ago, I think something could change. Output, input, built-in OS bot. Okay. I think right now it should be much louder. Let's see. Okay, I know why it has noise. I will. Okay, I know why it's. I will reduce. I will reduce the gain and will adjust the noise gate. I think this gain should be okay. Param pam 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 pam. Okay. Now the noise gate. Properties, filters, noise gate. Param pam pam. When I say something, it should open the noise gate. Otherwise, the noise should disappear. Seems good. Seems good. Okay, I will check it myself a bit, and we will continue. Okay, I will check it myself a bit, and we will continue. Okay, I will check. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you for mentioning, so I could adjust it. Okay, we are at the point when where for some reason our default test suite doesn't provide run summary. Curious why it happens. Test runner type get summary. Okay, hypothesis that the test runner we set here via parameterize and this test runner okay, I see. The change scheduled tests. I didn't roll back all the changes that I had. It should be a different function. I should use the previous API to make it work. So now let's load all project tests. Let's run them, and let's try to get a summary. Nice. So it was my mistake. I forgot to roll back. It's good that we checked that everything works. Our tests are passing. Now we can start changing the implementation. Okay, I will repeat what we are trying to achieve. We got to the point where we have our tests loaded. So we have a list of loaded tests. Now we need to implement a next step and get from loaded tests to scheduled tests. And for this, we will apply a transformation function to the list of loaded tests, and we will get a list of scheduled tests. The transformation function for now will be ID, but it can be sorting or like skipping some tests based on meta information or whatever we want. And this should be a very simple step to implement, because we basically just copy loaded tests to scheduled tests. But we need this step for future extension of our test runner and more advanced use cases. And after we implement this step, we will go and continue with test execution. Okay. We have a run tests function right here. It takes a list of loaded tests and executes them. Sounds logical. What we actually want, we have like old API. The old API called run suites, which loads test suites and calls run scheduled tests. And we want to substitute run suites with two functions, load suites and run tests. Do we have load suites function? We have load suite. Okay, we will update the implementation of run suites first, and we will adjust the API of test runner later. We already have a way to load tests. We can theoretically reset loaded tests, and here, instead of using old function for running scheduled tests, we will be using a new function called run tests. So the run tests right now differs from run scheduled tests in many ways. Let's place them side by side so we can update the implementation easier. The most important part about run scheduled tests at the moment is that it uses the test hierarchy and it traverses it using run suite function, and it also saves a last run summary, and this is what we don't do in run tests yet. Let's actually do this first, and after that we will go for our transformation and our scheduled tests and all that things. How we can collect the run summary. If you remember this part, so here we are somewhere here between loaded and scheduled tests and the execution. We need to collect a list of execution results. This we will make a variable, and we can make a dynamically scoped variable as we did a few times before. Current suite items. Test events. Oh, we already have test events, right? Run test, the test events. Run assert. Why it called test events while it assert events? That's probably the wrong naming. Run suite, run test. Run test. Description. We can easily collect this information, I guess. Instead of doing for each, we will do map, and as a result of run tests, we should get a list of test results, right? Let's try. Let's try how we will test it. Let's write a simple test like this one. Paste a few tests inside. And now what we will do? We will need to reset. We have two tests loaded, which is good. And if we rerun, oh, you can see when we rerun tests, we already get a list of those things. Now we need to just merge this list into one result and save it into last run summary, and we will get basically the same functionality that we had. Let me check load suite implementation. Okay, you can see that our integration with ID already uses run tests API, so we already use this function. And now instead of returning unspecified value, it returns a list of test execution results, which is what we expected to have here. So we almost implemented this thing by just changing for each to map, which is good. It was easy. Now we need to just process and fold this list into just one result. Should be not hard. Instead of map, we will just use a reduce or fold or whatever it's called. I think I have a similar code somewhere nearby. Let's see where it can be located. It can be located in run suite function. Run assert, run suite. Here. Yep, this one. Okay, it uses named let. for looping instead of fold, but whatever it is. Initial run summary. Let's see what is initial run summary. Let's copy it as well. We already have it defined. Okay, so we don't even need to copy it. Remaining items, CDR suite. If null, return summary. Otherwise, item takes the first item from remaining items. Loop merge run summaries. Summary test. This one will be just this, because you know we don't need to run, we already executed all of them and we have results. So remaining items, CDR at suite. Actually, yep. Let's create a separate variable. Test execution results, and we will put to separate variable, and we'll use this variable test execution results. Cool. Now we go through this list and merge summaries. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Oop. Definition is not allowed. Oh. It's better, thank you. Probably it's because of we downgraded to the older Guile version, so we don't have an ability to use define here. But it's okay, not a big deal. Let's see if it works. Okay, looks good so far. Let's load some tests. Suitable tests. This one. Nice. We have our execution results already. So what we can do? We can find run suite, and instead of run schedule tests, we can use run tests. Oh, also we need to save the value atomic box set, I guess. Last run summary. Like this. And we change run schedule test to run tests and migrate to a new API in this function. And now let's see if our tests still works. Yes, now it works with new API. to make sure that we loaded everything that we needed, I will restart the REPL. Reevaluate this namespace, and it works. Wonderful. Oh. We didn't break our tests. Very cool. Okay. So we got this feature implemented. The list of execution results that we probably need to store somewhere. We have it, and we have an ability to easily store it in some stateful variable, but we don't store it yet. But it's okay, we will do it when we need it. Now let's I guess go to this part. Before going here, I would like to commit what we've done, but the problem is that I need to put my security key, but I don't have enough USB ports to do so. I think I will take my tablet out of the USB port. Do anyone knows a good Type-C dock station / hub which is very compact, like preferably under 100 grams? I need only a few Type-C and Type-A ports and maybe SD card reader, and of course an ability to plug Type-C power delivery. Other than that, like, the compactness is priority, because I travel with one backpack and I need as compact setup as possible. So if you know a good Type-C hubs / dock stations, please let me know about them. You can do it with email or in Fediverse. Those two available here. I will be very happy if you can share some good findings on this topic. I saw a Ugreen 7-in-1, I guess with 10 megabit ports, which should be relatively good, but I didn't research it deep enough to be sure that it is a best option for me. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the programming. Now I have my security key. What I would like to do, I would like to commit the thing we did. Run tests. I will commit this one and this one. Suitable. Migrate. Not migrate yet. Add test execution results to run tests method. Okay. Now now let's get rid of run scheduled tests. Run scheduled tests. Run tests. Okay. Good. Nothing get broken yet. Commit this one and this one. Migrate to tests from run scheduled tests. Okay, there's another problem that I didn't address yet, I guess. We have a load suite, and inside load suite we have this hack. It load. I would like to get rid of it, but yeah, maybe later. Okay, I think we can remove this one like completely. And we can remove corresponding run suite function. Run suite. Did you notice that today I almost always pronounce suite as suite and not suite? I already almost used to this name. However, the library name is suitable, not suitable, and I think about renaming suitable to sweetball, because sweet, like, you know, test suite, not suite. Like, when I was coming up with the idea of the name for the library, I thought that suites are called suites, but they're suites. So maybe this will be a very important change to the library. I'm kidding, whatever it's called. Doesn't really matter, I guess. But maybe matter. Who knows, who knows. Okay, what we want to do right now, we can either introduce schedule tests, or we can fix this annoying thing when we load a suite, the old tests get reset. Okay, let's focus on what we discussed at the beginning of the stream. Let's introduce schedule tests. But before introducing them, let's remove run schedule tests. And I guess let's remove run suite because we don't need it anymore. Don't use it anymore. Run suite. Let's check what it does. Test reporter, type suite end, description, blah blah blah. Test reporter, test start. I'll put it here, like this. Run suite. Okay, we don't have run suite anymore, which is good, I think. We don't rely on old hierarchy anymore. Scheduled tests and run suite. Somebody was mentioning that the good code is one that is easy to delete, and luckily we have quite a good code and easy to delete one. Previously it didn't make much sense to me, like why you would like to delete a good code, but right now it makes much more sense. And I'm happy I have this property of the code. Okay, you can see that we have get loaded tests. Now we need to introduce a new function, get scheduled tests instead of get loaded tests. And what this function accepts. I think it will accept state, test runner state, and from the state I will extract loaded test, I will extract previous run information, and will be able to apply the transformation that we will introduce later. For now it will be just identity. Okay, sounds reasonable. So get loaded tests. Loaded, blah blah blah. Run config, get stats, get scheduled tests. I think We need run config to be a separate argument to this function. The reason why is because before executing tests we would like to adjust some parameters like the transformation functions, like the reporter views, what else? Like, do we skip tests based on some metadata and so on. So this run config will be passed as a separate parameter to run tests. Oh, and another cool feature that I would like to make, I will write it down. Run run. This one, instead of calling run test directly and do atomic box set last run summary and all that stuff manually, I will do use run tests and pass a filter function which selects only current test. What it will allow us to do? It will allow us to make a single entry point to test execution, and even running an individual test will work through the run tests, which will accept a run configuration, and inside this run configuration we will have a transformation function, and this transformation function will select only one test, the current one that we want to run, and like the rest will be the same, and we won't need to do this thing, for example, and this method won't need to know about this implementation detail. It will be baked inside run tests method. Okay, let's go to schedule tests. Schedule tests. Boom, boom. Sock loaded tests. Or, boom, 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 boom. And we will do map identity to this thing. And we will get a schedule tests. But instead of identity, let's call it transformation function. And it will be identity for now. Formation lot transformation. Lot is a list of tests. I came up with this abbreviation just today when I was writing a note, and I find it a bit funny. Not really easy to grasp, but funny. Lot transformation. I don't know why it's funny. And instead of identity, someday we will start using a value from run config. For now, let's just introduce this function and get loaded tests, get scheduled tests state, and run config like this, right? Should be fine. And let's add a transformation. Let's hard code lot transformation. Select important test. Okay, we'll do it a bit later. We'll do it closer here for now. Define select important tests, list of tests, and we will basically filter that filter function. Return list contain all elements satisfies the predicate. Right. And the predicate will be the following. We will need to extract the metadata of the test and compare it against some value. For now, let's just return true always, and the list of tests. Oh. Now you can see that I confused the API a bit. I said that lot transformation function takes a list and returns a list, but I implemented it this way. I took a list and applied to each element of the list a lot transformation function. But in reality, we just need this. Okay. Now our tests. Do they run? Oh. Yes, they run and work. Now we have suite usage tests. Interesting. We have interesting test loaded. Metadata. Test suite with metadata. We have it, and metadata contains interesting equal to true. Select interesting tests. Right? How we define an interesting test? The one which contains interesting equal to true. So we need to extract metadata. Core metadata, and it test slash metadata. So we will do the following: chain and test sock ref test metadata, and sock ref interesting, and when it's true, yeah, will be filtered out. Cool. Now instead of identity, we will use a select interesting tests, and Now we have an exception. The only question why it says 000, why it should be 1, I guess. Yeah. It's a test suite. That's right. That's right. I need test with metadata. Test with metadata. Metadata. Runners. Slow. Okay. Oops. Okay. Yep, and it's selected the one test, which is great. Exactly what we are expected from it. Very nice. Let's return identity here. Identity, and let's commit what we've done here. Can remove this one. What we will have? We will have. Oh. Okay. It wants to download my emails. Okay. Or maybe connect to the proxy. Whatever. I wanted to extract the run config from the message. Run config or oops. Run. And instead of empty value, it probably get run config. And the run test also should accept run config. But okay. Okay. Introduce scheduled Introduce back a new scheduled concept. Doesn't sound right. Use back. Like this should be fine. Okay. You don't see my tablet screen, but what we wanted to achieve, to get from loaded tests to scheduled tests with transformation function, we did it with, like, of course, not implementing the actual transformation yet. We wanted to get from scheduled test to executed test, and we did it. And we migrated our old API of run suite and run scheduled tests to just run test, like our new implementation with loaded and scheduled tests. And we produced a list of execution results that we can later use to build reports or to use the transformation function on next reruns, which is very, very good in my opinion. It was productive and not even much frustration was during today's stream, so quite happy with the results. I guess we even summed up the stream already, and thank you everyone for joining. We did a great job. We will do much more great job in the future, and I will see you in a bit. Bye.